Hi, I'm Liz with Toth Properties, powered by EXP Realty. I'm a residential real estate agent in Raleigh, North Carolina, and today's buyer tip is all about property taxes. And the reason I'm doing this video now is because property tax bills just came out in the month of July. And so sometimes I get some phone calls from buyers who recently closed who are concerned because they say, hey, I thought property tax bills were being paid through the lender. Why am I getting a bill in the mail? And that's a great question, and I'm always happy to answer that question and help someone with that. Most of the time, people who are getting a mortgage are also getting an escrow account set up with the mortgage company. And every month they're paying their bill, they're paying into that escrow account. And so they're paying for typically property taxes through that escrow account and homeowners insurance. So that account builds up, and then when property taxes are due, the lender's going to take money from that account. They're going to pay your property taxes. If you're getting a bill, it's likely either the first year you purchased your home, or you may need to just double check and make sure you have an escrow account set up with your lender. And a great way to do that is just log into your account, check your account, and you can see if you have an escrow account set up, what you're paying on a monthly basis into that escrow account. You can also keep track of when your lender pays the property tax bill. And this is important because yes, you may be having your lender pay your property tax bill for you, but ultimately the responsibility to pay property taxes is the homeowner. So if the lender misses that payment and you end up incurring a late fee, that's going to be your responsibility, not the lender. So you want to make sure to keep tabs on the lender and make sure your property tax bill is being paid. So a lot of times what I do is I can go in and I see in September, they've gone ahead and paid the property taxes, because that's when property taxes are due, and then they become late in January. So I think it's January 5th, you would start to incur delinquent fees, and they add to what you owe and so on and so forth. So that's a little bit about property tax bills. Another thing is, one of the most common questions I get from people who are moving here from out of the area is, what are the property taxes like? How are they calculated? And that's always a great question, because if you're searching for a home, you need to budget for, the cost of the home and what that monthly payment's going to be. Obviously, if there's HOA fees, you want to calculate that in as well, homeowners insurance, and then ultimately your property taxes. And if you're building new construction, it's kind of hard to gauge what is my property tax bill going to be. If you're purchasing a resale home, I can pull, what the last tax bill was to give you a general idea of what you're going to pay in property taxes. So I thought I would share my screen here and show you how the property tax bills are calculated. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to focus on Wake County and the city of Raleigh. But I do sell in other counties and other cities. So if you have questions about those counties or those cities, feel free to reach out. I'm familiar with the property tax process in those counties as well. Very similar to Wake County, though. So for the city of Raleigh, there's a rate of 0.433, and I pay Wake County taxes of 0.6570. And so those rates combined are 1.09, and that gets applied to, it's 1.09 per $100 in value. And that's based on the assessed value of the home. Now, on top of these two rates, I also pay a recycle fee, or sometimes you'll see it's like a wastewater fee or a sewer fee, and that's $20. So that gets added on top of the bill after it's calculated with the rate. So how do we calculate property taxes here in North Carolina? Well, my total rate is 1.09. It's paid per $100 in value. So we have to figure out how many $100 in value are in this particular example. So the assessed value of the home is $400,000 divided by 100 gives you $4,000. Then you apply that 1.09 to that $4,000. It gives you $4,360. That is your annual tax bill, plus you have that $20 recycle fee or storm water fee, and that gets added on. So the total tax bill in this example is going to be $4,380, and that is for the year. I have had people surprised that is all that it is for the entire year. But yeah, that's how they calculate the property taxes in North Carolina. You can access online, or if you need this information, if you're looking at different cities, you can see what in 2023, what the property tax rates were. And this is all available online as well. But you can see what the tax rates are in Wake County and all the cities within Wake County. And then you can calculate, based on the assessed value of the home, approximately what your property tax bill is going to be for the year. Now, if you're building a new construction home, what I always tell people is, for the purposes of planning, plan on, if you're calculating out the property tax bill and you're trying to get an estimate of what you're going to pay, most of the time the assessed value is only the land. So it doesn't show the improvement or home that's on the land if you're building from the ground up. So you purchase your home, you close on it, you move in, and then you get your tax bill after the home has been assessed. So sometimes it can be a surprise. You don't know what it's going to be because you don't know what the assessed value of your home is going to be. So I always tell people, do the calculation based on what the purchase price of the home was. And that I would say that's worst case scenario. Most of the time, I find that the assessed value of the home is actually less than what people paid for. So if you're calculating based on the purchase price, most of the time the property tax bill is going to be less than that. Now, if you're purchasing a resale home, you're going to have the property tax bill will be prorated, and it'll be the date of close forward. And if you're a seller and you're selling in Wake County or other parts of North Carolina, it is prorated. So if you are selling a home and you're closing on that home on April 15th, the seller will owe January 1st through April 15th, and that will be collected at the time of closing and given to the buyer. And then when the tax bill comes out, the buyer will be expected to pay the bill in full, and the buyer would be responsible for April 15th forward. So that's how it works if you're purchasing a resale home and you're taking over responsibility of the property tax bill from a seller. It also happens that way with new construction, but a lot of times the bills are significantly less, again, because it's just the assessed value of the land. They didn't necessarily assess the improvement or home that has been built on the land yet. The other thing to note is that a lot of times if the property tax bill is not out, so if it's before July 1st, and the property tax bills for the year are not available, the attorney is going to collect the seller's portion of the property tax bill, and the buyer will receive a credit on the statement for that amount, and then again be expected to pay the bill in full when it comes out in July. If it's after July 1st and the property tax bills are available, the attorneys usually collect from both parties. So they'll collect this for the seller's portion, they'll collect the buyer's portion, and they'll pay off the property tax bill in full at that time. So that's kind of how the process works here in North Carolina and in the Triangle area. Hopefully that information is helpful for you. If you have more questions on property tax bills or how it's calculated, or any other questions with regard to relocating to the Raleigh-Durham area, feel free to reach out. If you want more information on the Raleigh-Durham area or other parts of the Triangle, check out my YouTube channel. You can subscribe, hit the little bell, and be notified anytime a new video is uploaded. And there's videos everywhere from city and community tours, things to do, buyer tips, seller tips, and information on the real estate market. I look forward to talking to you again soon, and I hope you have a great day.